I'm back to the show. I'm a glow, and I know. Said I pray to my nigga to win every day.
Yo, what's up everyone? This is Crist Hendrix, and right before we start the video, I just want to say thank you to those who subscribed. We've recently reached 11,000 subscribers, and we really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get started with the video. So this is the Sunday market breakdown, so which means we usually start from the weekly time frame. So let me just scale into our pair. So our first pair will be GBP JPY, and we are gonna go to the the weekly time frame. Sorry, because every Sunday when you analyze, you need to take it from the weekly, because the week hasn't started yet. So once it's Monday, you can just start from the daily. So with the weekly, we're gonna spot our structure. Let me just remove everything. We're gonna draw a structure, and we are focusing on the current market, so we're not gonna go back to a year ago or something like that. So this is our structure. So what you do first is spot your highest highs, lowest lows with your horizontal rays. So I'm gonna draw my highest high there and my lowest low right here. And as you can see, within this channel, we have a structure that was descending. Let me just use the trend line. We had something like this in the previous market, and that, right? So you can see the price broke out the structure here, went for the highest side, which was like the double top, and at the current market it formed another structure, but this one is a ascending structure, which means we're gonna break down to the downside. Let me just go to the 4-hour time frame. So we have something like this, right? And as you can see, it formed our 1 2 3 formation. This is our third touch. So we had the first touch actually didn't touch our trend line. So this was the first touch, second touch, and the third one. And as you can see, at the third touch, the market broke out the highest high. People who trade support and resistance probably thought this was like a breakout and then a retest to the upside, but then the market went back inside the highest high or our channel. So this is our structure. We have our support right here, and as you can see, it formed a huge impulse to the downside or back inside our structure, meaning a correction will follow. A correction is when the market goes sideways from having momentum. So this correction or flag, whatever, or pattern, whatever you want to call it. So this was the impulse to the down. Let me just zoom in. This was our impulse to the downside. Now we're having our correction. So the same applies with the patterns or flags or small corrections, right? We spot our 1 2 3 structure. We base our entries on the third touch because it has the highest probability. So let me just adjust my trend lines. As you can see, So far we can say we have two touches. We can start from here. We can consider this as our first touch, and then our middle touch, or the second one. Now we're anticipating the third one. So the market has to buy to this point, this resistance here or zone, so we can sell off. Let me just use my boss pattern to illustrate what I'm talking about. So we're expecting something like this. As you can see, we have 3 touches and the price should sell off at the third one, just like that. So that is a British pound against Japanese yen, or GBP JPY. We're expecting a sell off. So moving on to the next pair, which is USD CHF for Swiss franc. So this one, once again, we start from the weekly and we spot what is happening. So I'm just gonna zoom in to the current market, and let me just remove everything, because some of these pairs we went through them last week, so I still have my setups and stuff. So focusing on the current market, let me just mix up my screen. So we same thing, we spot our zones using the horizontal ray, so the highest height and the lowest low. And then that's when we can move on to the daily time frame and see what's happening within our channel. So let's just adjust our zones. So this is what's happening right now. The market went up and rejected, so this is a significant zone, as well as this one. So now we're working within, and the first thing we are doing is spotting our structure. So I'm gonna first do the support, because it's the one that is visible, or you can identify easily. So we had a few touches or few rejections, which means this is it justifies the support, right? Or it confirms it. So the resistance, we only have 2 touches, and according to philosophy, we need to have the third touch so we can execute our trade, which means right now we're just anticipating the third one. And as you can see, the price to the third touch, it is going with like this huge impulse, because from our support it rejected significantly, and we can also recognize this structure within our main structure, or patterns within patterns, and we had a breakout. So right now we're expecting the market to go sideways or to correct. You can actually execute this short-term buy to the third touch, but then you can collect your profits at the 90% rule, which means where the descending structure started, and yeah, just as so, because the market is supposed to move. Let me just draw. The market is supposed to go sideways a bit so that it can buy. So we're gonna enter based off this flag right here. So that is the short term trade for USD CHF. Let me just remove everything. So right now, okay, let me just use the bus pattern. Yeah. So it's kind of similar to the previous setup that we did. We're just waiting for the market to buy to our third touch so we can sell. So here's our short pattern. So that is the setup for USD Swiss franc. So moving on to our third chart. Remove everything. Okay. Starting off on the weekly time frame because it's a Sunday. So we're gonna zoom into the current market. You don't wanna be zoomed out too much because you might end up trading like the history and stuff, and your setups might not play out because you're too focused on the previous market. So right now we had this ascending structure. It was such a beautiful structure. As you can see, everything was visible. We had our first touch, second touch, and then the third touch was a series of touches, but it counts as one. And then we had our breakout right here, and then right now we have this let me just use the horizontal ray. We have something like this, right? So that counts as our resistance, and this is our support or low slope. And now we can move on to the daily time frame. Let me just remove these ads, maximize my screen. So right now this is what we're dealing with. Let me just adjust this. Adjust that. So you can see on the resistance we have a series of just two touches, and we are looking for the third one to sell off because this is a huge correction. As you can see, the price moves sideways in a very parallel way because I just used the horizontal ray and everything is aligned well. So that is that. Sorry, I'm recording this while smoking. So we're gonna scale down to the 4-hour time frame and see what we have. And before I move into the current market, at the support, we had this huge rejection here, and the price just ran off from that touch or rejection with a huge impulse, and following by a correction, which is what we're looking for to our third touch. So the correction we already have all our touches, the first one, the second one, and the third one, which means this short-term buy, we missed it on the third touch, but then there should be another small correction within maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes or so. So this one, we're just gonna wait for it to buy till our resistance or highest height. So let me just use the long pattern to illustrate the buy. So this is what it looks like. So the price is gonna buy till this point, and then that's when it will reject, because this is a significant zone. And then once it gets to our resistance, hopefully the market moves like this. Let me just draw it, and then we have something like this. And then, because if the market gives us something like this, it will mean we'll have a structure that looks something like this, right? We'll have a series of the first touch, because this, everything here counts as the first touch, second touch, and then the highest probability on the third touch, and then that's when we're gonna start selling off. If we if we do enter at this point, the price will this will be a very risky entry, but then we can always wait for the impulse and then the correction for us to enter to have the safe entry. So we can have something like this, and then we sell off from this point. So, and we are gonna hold for a very long time because the structure is quite huge. So that is New Zealand against Canadian dollar. We are going short after all of this is formed, so it's gonna be a waiting process. But so far you can execute the short-term buy to this resistance. So I'm gonna do the last pair because my laptop is gonna switch off. So this one, I'm just gonna quickly run through it so you can see we had this huge impulse, a bit of market correction, another huge impulse, and then right now we're currently looking at a correction. So this correction, we are gonna spot our support just like that, and then we are gonna do our resistance. So let's move in. As you can see, we already had the first touch, second touch, and the third one. So right now the market rejected as expected, and then right now it's forming another correction. So looking at it, we can see that we are having 3 touches right here. So this was our first touch, second touch, and our third one, which means we are expecting a buy from this point. We can start placing buy entries. just like that. So that is a US dollar against Japanese yen, and this will be my last setup, but then I'll make a follow-up video analyzing the rest of these flagged setups: Canadian, British pound, AUD, euro, gold, silver, and then German 30. So tune in, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the push notification button, make sure you share all our videos with your friends, family, whoever you can get the video to. And once again, thank you for 11,000 subscribers. This was Crist Hendrix from NBA.
Niggas like switching sides, and I don't know why. Don't want a whole other level. I'm too hard and I feel like a devil. On the watches, I love me your best. Too hard and I'm taking your bed. Spend a day and you told me she love me. But other than me, I'm looking for money. But other than I'm looking for money. And I'm chilling with gang. And my team is so bad.